know that moment when you're talking to a woman and she gets this distant look, like her mind just went somewhere else. That's not distraction, that's imagination. And if you think women only fantasize about obvious things, you're missing the real triggers. I'm about to show you 9 psychological patterns that make her think about you when she's alone at night. Number 1, you show her glimpses. Not the whole story. Most guys think they need to impress women by laying everything out there. Your job, your goals, your entire life story in the first conversation. Wrong move when you overshare. You're killing the one thing that makes her mind wander mystery. Here's what actually happens in her brain when there are gaps in information. Something called crystallization kicks in. This is a psychological process where women idealize men more. When there's ambiguity, she starts filling in those blanks with the best possible version of you. Think about it when you only give her glimpses of who you are. Her imagination has to do the work. And guess what? Her imagination is way more generous than reality. She's not just thinking about what you told her. She's creating entire scenarios about what you didn't say. That mental real estate you're occupying, that's where fantasy begins. Don't do your hot 1 minute. Cool the next. This one's based on intermittent reinforcement. And it's psychologically addictive. You flirt with her, make her feel that spark. Then you pull back, you create tension. Then you go a little cold. That emotional whiplash isn't cruel. It's captivating. Research shows that uncertainty actually deepens obsession when you're inconsistent. Her brain starts working overtime trying to figure you out. She's thinking, did I read him wrong? Was that moment real? What changed? The doubt becomes fuel for late-night thoughts. She's replaying every interaction, analyzing every word, trying to solve the puzzle of you. And while she's doing that mental detective work, she's essentially fantasizing about you for hours, without even realizing it. Number 3, you leave her with a physical imprint. Touch her once lightly, deliberately, and then don't repeat it. I'm talking about a casual hand on her lower back. When you're walking through a door, a brief touch on her wrist when you're making a point. The key is that it's singular. It happens once, then it's gone. Here's the science. Our brains are wired to remember contrast. That one touch stands out because it's different from the rest of your interaction. But here's the kicker. The lack of repetition makes her body crave that feeling again. Studies show that unexpected touch releases oxytocin. But when you don't repeat it, you're creating what psychologists call seeking behavior. Her nervous system remembers that contact. And part of her starts wondering what it would feel like if it happened again. That wondering, that's her body fantasizing. Numdris, you smell like a damn problem. This one's pure biology, and most guys have no idea how powerful it is. Male pheromones, especially androstadion, directly influence women's emotions and memory centers. Just your natural scent can put her in a better mood for hours, without her knowing why, when she catches your scent. Her brain starts associating that smell with the feeling of being around you, so later when she's alone, sometimes just the memory of how you smelled can trigger those same emotions. It's like you've left an invisible bookmark in her mind. Research from the Rockefeller University shows that scent memories are processed in the limbic system, the same area that handles emotions and long-term memory. So when she's thinking about you later, it's not just mental, it's a full sensory experience. Now, before I get to the next 5, if you're sitting there wondering, how do I know she's actually thinking about me like this? I get it. That's why I created the 25 forbidden signals. She's secretly into you, Chi-Chi. I'm talking about the lip bite she doesn't know she's doing, the way she positions her body when she's fantasizing, and the text patterns that scream, "I can't stop thinking about you." Links in the description, but let me give you these last 5 first, because number 6 is going to change how you see social dynamics forever. Number 5, you plant an image she can replay. This is about verbal seduction, but not the obvious kind. You're not being explicit or crude. You're using subtle, flirty, suggestive lines that imply attraction without spelling it out. Something like, "I bet you're trouble with the right tone and eye contact." Here's what happens when she's alone later. That moment replays like a highlight reel. His voice, that look, that line. Women don't fantasize in direct visuals the way men do. They fantasize in emotionally charged flashbacks. They replay the feeling of the moment, not just what happened. Neuroscientific research shows that women's brains are more active in areas associated with emotional memory during recall. So when you give her something emotionally charged to remember, you're essentially programming her to think about you later. Number 6, you display status without needing to flex. This isn't about showing off your car or your bank account. It's about quiet presence. You walk into a room and you're not trying to dominate it. But people notice you. You speak when it counts. She watches how others respond to you. Not because you're demanding attention, but because you naturally command it. Social proof triggers something called value assessment. In her brain, she's thinking, why do other people seem to respect him? What do they see that I'm not seeing it? That unanswered question creates curiosity. And curiosity creates mental loops. Studies show that women are highly attuned to social hierarchy and how men navigate it. When you display status subtly, it triggers an evolutionary response. She starts wondering about your resources, your capabilities, your potential, and that wondering happens when she's alone with her thoughts. Number 7, you let her initiate, then respond slowly. This goes against every instinct most guys have, but it's incredibly powerful. Don't chase. Let her send the first DM, the first text, the first subtle reach out. And then this is crucial. Don't respond instantly. That waiting game heightens desire through something called dopamine anticipation. Her brain is literally getting a hit of pleasure chemicals just from wondering when you'll respond. She's thinking, why isn't he jumping to reply? What's he doing that's more important than me? Research from behavioral psychology shows that variable reward schedules create the strongest behavioral patterns. When she can't predict your response time, checking for your reply becomes almost compulsive. And every time she's checking, she's thinking about you. Number 8, you trigger a secret feeling she can't explain. Maybe it's your tone when you speak to her. Maybe it's your calm energy in chaotic situations. Maybe it's the way you listen, without trying to fix everything. The key is creating an experience, not just a moment. Something she feels long after you've left the room. This is about emotional anchoring. Her brain starts associating you with a specific emotional state. Maybe it's feeling understood. Maybe it's feeling desired. Maybe it's feeling safe to be herself. Whatever it is, you become the trigger for that feeling. Neuroscience shows that emotional memories are stored differently than factual memories. They're more vivid, more persistent, and more likely to be replayed. When you create a strong emotional experience, you're essentially giving her brain a reason to keep coming back to you. Numpindin. You stay just elusive enough to be unfinished. She doesn't know what you really think about her. She doesn't know what you really want. She doesn't know where this is going. That lack of closure, it's an open loop. And the female brain hates unfinished emotional stories. This ties back to the Zagaranic effect. Our brains are obsessed with incomplete tasks. When you don't give her complete emotional closure, her mind keeps returning to you, trying to finish the story. So she rewrites it, imagines different scenarios, creates possibilities all night long. The beauty of this is that she's not just thinking about what happened. She's fantasizing about what could happen. And that's where you want to be, not just in her memories, but in her imagination of the future. I know you're probably thinking about specific situations right now, wondering if you've been doing any of these without realizing it. Drop a comment and let me know which one hit home for you. I read every single one and I love hearing your stories. You know I'm always here to decode this technology behind attraction. So don't be a stranger.